Hello, my name's Adam Victor. I am the guitarist from the band Soup, and I also play for a few other people as well. And this video is going to be talking about my pedalboard. So, through my guitar journey, I have always kind of been a modeler guy. I think as most modern guitar players are, especially in the kind of heavier music scene. And up until that point, or this point, the convenience of it was always great for me. But after building my first pedalboard at the kind of tail end of last year, I decided I wanted to try and swap to a full analog, if you want to call it that, rig. So that's what I did. I was a Line 6 guy for a while, and I still really do love my pod. It's a great recording tool and session tool, but I think for me currently, and also for Soup stuff, I just wanted to refine my sound a bit more, get something a bit more personal, a bit more unique, rather than the kind of modeler thing. So my main issue was, in Soup, I need to be able to swap from high gain sound to like a very ambient sound, like just like that. And so the idea behind just buying a tube amp and a load of pedals wasn't really going to work for me. So what I decided to do was a switching system. Nothing as like fancy as like a G3 switching system or like the Boss switcher or whatever, but it works for what I need, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. I should preface before we begin that I am missing a pedal. You'll be able to see the empty space in the B-roll shots. It was supposed to arrive on the day of filming, but unfortunately it isn't here yet, so we're just going to have to make do. But that pedal is the Old Blood Noise Endeavour's Sunlight Reverb, and I will try and show it off once I have it. So, starting off, what we're using gears-wise is my Balaguer Guitars Thicket. This is my main guitar for everything I do, recording, live, anything. It is just the best guitar in the world ever. That's running into my pedal board, which is then going into my Seymour Duncan Power Stage 100 power amp, and that is then powering my Blackstar HT Venue 2x12 cab. So how the board works is the main pedal we are using as the kind of brains is the line selector, or the LS2 from Boss. That is running into two loops, a clean loop and high gain loop. The clean loop, the amp that I'm using for that, because I'm not using any real amplifiers for this, it just works better for what I do. I'm using the Universal Audio Dream 65 Reverb for my clean amp, and for the high gain amp, I'm using the Victory Kraken V4 preamp pedal. Both of them sound amazing, and we'll get right onto that just now. So, starting off with, this is the Dream 65 Reverb. Before I start as well, there are two pedals, or three pedals technically, that aren't in either of the loops. They are technically in both as they run through the main sort of line of the pedal, if you want to look at it that way, but we'll go over those in a minute. So this is the Dream 65 on the kind of main sound that I'm using it for. So that's the kind of main sound I'm using. It's just very clean, very dynamic, a wee bit of spring reverb. I know probably most people, when they use this pedal, they would save the kind of tremolo sound that it has to the preset button. I did do that for a bit. I'm still kind of experimenting with what sounds I'm using the most at the moment, but for now I have kind of an edge of breakup sort of kind of more distorted sound saved to the preset button, and this is what it sounds like. So let's move on to the effects. The first pedal that I've got running into the dream is my MXR Dino Comp. As far as compressors go, I've never really been a kind of compressor guy. I know a lot of people that have them and they just sort of use them as like an always on type of thing, just making their tone a wee bit nicer. I don't really like doing that, but obviously to each their own. I prefer it a bit more as an effect. And I chose the Dino Comp just because I like the sound of it, and it's simple. MXR pedals are always very simple. But you can see in the B-roll here that this has a custom paint job. So this was done by my best friend ever, Ethan Knight, also known as Nighttime Photography. You might have seen some of his stuff if you're in the kind of Glasgow music scene. He did this custom Spino comp, as we call it, decal for me, and it is probably my favorite pedal now. And yeah, so this is what the Spino comp sounds like. So yeah, let's move on. Next in the chain, we have the Old Blood Noise Endeavours Fault V2. This is a 2-channel overdrive. I got this a while ago, and I do truly believe this is the most versatile overdrive ever. It's got the typical voice switch as you would see, or like a tone knob, 2 gain modes, 3 band EQ, boost, and like all sorts of fun things. So this is gain 1, and then I'll switch over to gain 2, and yeah, we'll go from there. And now gain 2. Cool. So next we have the Way Huge Swollen Pickle. So this is a fuzz, as a lot of you probably know. It's a very famous fuzz, and as a kind of metal guitarist, or kind of modern metal guitarist, we'll say, I have never really gotten on with fuzz all that well, mainly because, you know, it's not tight, it's not that sort of like high gain like amp sound that a lot of us crave. But recently I've been really loving the sound of fuzz, and this is probably just the most versatile one I've found. It can do that kind of big wall of sound thing, the kind of really spetty fuzz sound. Currently I've got it set up to just give me the big wall of sound to hit, because we are using it in one of the songs from our new EP coming out at some point. Escapism from the Mundane Part 2, and we use it on a song that just needed that really gnarly, like fuzzy distortion. So this is what this sounds like. Up next, we are going to the pretty effects. This next pedal is the JHS Emperor V2. This is, without a doubt, the best chorus pedal I have ever used, and also again just a really versatile chorus in general. Chorus vibrato, I should say. Currently I've got it set on the chorus setting, and yeah, it's just, you know, when it comes to chorus, I never thought, you know, I always thought chorus is chorus, you know, until I used this one, and it just sounds so lush. It blends so well with all my other effects, and yeah, JHS, well done. So this is the Emperor. Next, we're getting onto the kind of crazy ones. So this pedal is the Earthquaker Devices Astral Destiny. You know, it's kind of hard to pinpoint what exactly this pedal does. I've just sort of say it's like a shimmer reverb with some pitch shifting stuff going on. So currently I have it on the sub shimmer mode, so octave up, octave down, reverb, modulation, but I do also use it on the Astral setting, which I'll show you in a minute. So this is the Astral Destiny. And now the Astral mode. The last feature on this pedal that's really cool is the stretch button. So this pitches the modulation down, and it also doubles the reverb time. So I use it again in one of the new EP songs to kind of add this like spooky, sort of like weird chromatic sort of sounding just thing. So this is what that sounds like. Okay, moving on to the last pedal in the clean loop. This is the Earthquaker Devices Avalanche Run. This is a delay pedal with a big, huge, massive reverb attached onto it. It's very similar to the Earthquaker Dispatch Master, except this one has 3 different types of delay. So currently I've got it just on the normal setting. I run it more as a reverb than like a delay, but obviously like the delay is just part of that big ambient thing. So this is what that sounds like. Forgot to turn the Astral Destiny off. Turn the delay up a wee bit more. Another sound that I really love to use with the Astral is just turning it into this huge pad. Not Astral, sorry, Avalanche. By just turning the mix on the reverb up and then the mix on the delay up and turning it to the reverse mode. So this is what that sounds like. So yeah, there is one more sound that I use with the Avalanche, and I will try and show it to the best of my ability, but I really don't want to blow the microphone out input too much. It's basically just, if you've heard our song Anastasius, it's that kind of big, like, infinite delay thing that just gets faster and faster and faster. And the Avalanche has a sound in it when you do that that is very, very unique to this pedal. So I'll do my best to show that off just now. So yeah, that's that. Let's move on to the high gain loop. So high gain loop, switching over to the B loop on the line selector, is best shown kind of, I have a lot of these pedals like always on, is a very simple thing, but I'll start with showing you the Kraken. So this is gain 1 on the Kraken. It is a 2 gain or 2 channel pedal, sort of like a crunch and then a high gain sound. It has the actual preamp tubes from the actual amplifier in it, so it sounds almost identical, which is amazing. Like, I have my dream amplifier just on my board. So this is gain 1. And then gain 2. So the first pedal going into the Kraken is the Mini Tube Screamer from Ibanez. Tube Screamer, one of the most famous overdrives of all time and used by untold numbers of heavy music players to tighten up and boost the front end of their amplifiers. So that's what I'm using it for the high gain loop. So this is what it sounds like. Cool. I'll quickly skip over the next pedal in the chain, and I'll just talk about the Noise Killer by Moore. It's a noise gate. It has a hard soft function, threshold. It's very simple, nice and small, and it just gets rid of all that hum for you. So yeah, I probably will swap it out at some point, but for now it's exactly what I need, and I don't really need to change it. So the last pedal in this loop is the MXR Micro Amp Plus. I'm using this pedal for like a solo boost, so just more gain, a bit more volume, and treble boost as well. And yeah, it just makes me stand out like nice and clear when I'm trying to do solos live and just like in practice and stuff. So this is what that sounds like. So, the last kind of 3 pedals on the board that I'm yet to show you is just the pedals that are going into both channels. So, we've got my tuner, which is just the lock-in mini tuner from Landlord. I don't need an expensive, fancy tuner. It's just a tuner. I just needed one that's like nice and small, wasn't going to break the bank. These are like £30, I think. And it works. My bassist Ranald in Soup, he also has one, so I thought if it can pick up the signal from his 5-string, it can pick up my guitar. So yeah, I don't really need to show that off. The next pedal though is the Pitchfork from Electro Harmonics. This pedal is as you can probably assume, is a pitch shifter. It can go up to 3 octaves. It's got dual pitching. It's got a latch mode. Blend knob, great pedal. I absolutely adore it. I was a huge fan on my last board of my Whammy DT from Digitech. Amazing pedal, and I really wish I could have kept it if I wanted to, or if I could. But unfortunately, when planning out this board, it was just going to be way too big, and I didn't want to have to make the board double the size to accommodate for one pedal. So thankfully, one of my friends put me onto this, and I absolutely love it. It sounds very similar to that kind of original Whammy, the really like kind of shit one that just like doesn't track very well. It just screams, it's gnarly. It just sounds amazing. So yeah, the next pedal on the board is the Hotone Soul Press, which, like I've stated before, I'm using as an expression pedal to control the Pitchfork. So this is a volume, wah, and expression pedal. I'm currently running it on the wah or bypass option, just so that when it's off, I can use it to control the pitchfork, and it doesn't, turn my volume off or like give me a wah sound or anything. So I will show you the sound of the wah, and I will also show you the sound of the Pitchfork, and that will be all the pedals individually, and I'll just show you some wee combinations that I like doing, and yeah, that will be us. So let's move on to just some of the sounds, like the pedal combos that I like to use. First of all, let's do the kind of something a bit fun. This is the preset button on the Dream with the Fault and the Swollen Pickle. Cool. So this next one is the Fault, the Emperor, and the Avalanche. Next, we're going to use the Avalanche and the Astral Destiny, and we're going to make a big kind of pad sound. So, yeah. Next, what we're gonna do, and this will probably be the last one, is we're just gonna kind of do like a low octave blend on the high gain channel using the pitchfork. So let's do that. So that'll be it. Thank you so much for watching, and follow Soup on all streaming services, social media, and follow me as well at Invictor Music, and subscribe if you want to. I don't really post all that much, but I might here and there. Again, thank you for watching, and